Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Shoot Style Sauna. Once again, we're finally back, and here we are for our first AEW pay-per-view of 2021. It's Revolution coming to you on a Sunday. As a reminder, they moved it to a Sunday this time because there's a lot of UFC and boxing happening on Saturday, and Tony Khan decided to move the pay-per-view to then to make things easier for everybody. So, yep, it's a bit weird to see that change, but it makes sense for them paying attention to the sports industry. Eric, how are you feeling about the upcoming show and just how it's going to be?
I'm good. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be different from what we expect from AEW, especially for the main event in barbed wire, exploding barbed wire deathmatch.
Yeah, that's straight out of Japan. When Eric first texted me about it, and I'm like, what the fuck did you just call me? But then I watched it back and I'm like, oh, that's what happened. So yeah, it's gonna be big. That'll be towards the end of the video. We'll talk about that. But it's a 9-match card. We had some matches added to the buy-in last night, and we have more of an idea of what the general card looks like. So usual deal, we're going to go match by match, talk about our predictions and anything else that will happen. We have a nice little bonus prediction that we'll get to a little later on too. So Eric, how about we head to the buy-in for our first match? And here we are on the buy-in. It is a bit of a kind of ongoing feud between Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, and a little bit of Riho because she recently came back. But I know Rosa and Riho had a match in the tournament that Thunder Rosa won, but it's a tag team match. Rosa and Riho taking on Baker and Reba, or Rebel. I'm confused with what they really want to call her. But Eric, you want to kick things off? What are you thinking?
Yeah, so it's kind of weird because they're saying that Reba or Rebel or whoever she is, she's injured and she won't be in this match. And if she's not cleared by the time this match comes, then Britt will be able to choose her own partner. So I think she's gonna choose someone maybe not Nyla Rose, but someone as dominant as Nyla Rose, or maybe someone new. Could we be seeing Tessa Blanchard? I don't know. But I do think it's gonna be Britt Baker, and whoever her partner is at the time is gonna get the victory.
Okay, I thought the Reba thing was kayfabe because I know they were talking about that, but I haven't really read up then on about that because I know she got involved in the Nyla match and it was weird. I haven't really heard much about that since then though. So, but my thinking was with this one, I actually went for the baby faces here. Went for Thunder Rosa and Riho because the Britt Baker Thunder Rosa thing definitely doesn't feel over. Britt Baker kind of got the last laugh when they were in the ring together, even though it was a bit dirty. I think if Reba is here, then I think she is definitely going to take the fall if their team loses. But there is that factor of if she's actually injured, then oh shit, who's going to fill in for her? Whether it be some undercard person or some new shock debut, because it kind of could use some more faces in the division just to have more of a mid card, if you ask me. But I mean, it's definitely getting there. The tournament was pretty good for the most part. We'll talk more about the tournament later. But for now, I think unless something happens, maybe more details come, she's actually out of the match. It's also the buy-in, so it could be really straightforward for all we know too. But yeah. I'm going to go for the baby faces here, and I think I've dubbed them Risa because Riho, Rosa, that was my pun with that one. And yeah, that will go with that one. Moving on up to the main card next. Yeah, this would make sense to start off the show. Tag match. This has been brewing since really Miro came to AEW back in September. It is him and Kip Sabian, accompanied by Penelope Ford, taking on what's left of the best friends because, Trent has an unfortunate pec injury. I'll kick this off. I do think that I'm calling him the best men are going to take this one. It's Miro's big pay-per-view debut. He's always been portrayed to be this big deal, but I can see the case for the good guys too, considering, they've always been going back and forth. Charles, aka Chuck Taylor, was getting kind of abused for a while when he had to be their young boy, I think that was what he was called. But Orange Cassidy and Miro, I think it's gonna be a really fun one, like I said, especially when you get Orange Cassidy and Miro in there. Get some great comedy stuff in there, but I can definitely see the heels getting away with this one. Eric, what about you?
This one's kind of tough to call because especially since it's Orange Cassidy in the other team, he's kind of the breakout star of AEW this past year, but you still got Miro on the other side, and I feel like he's going to be definitely dominant in this match, try to get revenge over Chuck Taylor from what happened at Kip Sabian's wedding.
Yep.
But with that in mind, I am going to go with Miro and Kip Sabian to take the victory in this match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only thing I can see going wrong is there's a miscommunication like there was at the wedding, and maybe Kip and Miro turn each other, and at least probably Kip being pinned by Orange Cassidy. Yeah. It's possible, but I don't know. We also didn't see them this week, so I just feel like it might be really straightforward. And Miro might just make Chuck Taylor tap out again, or something happens and they just find a way to sneak out a win. But it should be fun. I'm intrigued because this has been a long brewing match. It sucks it isn't Trent and Chuck, but unfortunate circumstances. So we still got this instead. I think it'll still be fun. Next up, this is going to be so many people involved with this one. It is a casino tag team battle royale. So we all know what the casino battle royale is. You have a group of people start out, and then gradually over time, people will join the match. This time we're having tag teams involved. There's a full list on the Wikipedia, but it's mostly AEW tag teams. I think they have some AEW dark tag teams in there too. And they kind of showcase the match last night to end Dynamite with like the big brawl, show how the Battle Royale works basically. Eric, how do you feel about this one? There's a lot of teams in the field. There might be some surprise ones too, but where do you stand on it?
It's tough to call this one because I don't know who, like, all the full participants. Like, is Death Triangle also in this?
They are, because they I think we both watched it last night. Is that when they had the big brawl
came
at
out
the end?
Yeah,
they had like their own entrance too, and I'll talk about that in a second. Let me see if I can find like the full like Wikipedia thing. I'll cut ahead in editing if it takes a little bit. Matches. Okay, our full list on Wikipedia. It's Bear Country, both sides of the Dark Order, which is Reynolds and Silver and Udo and Grayson as separate teams. Proud and Powerful, Butcher and the Blade, Private Party, Top Flight, Death Triangle are in there, the Varsity Blondes, Matt Seidel and Mike Seidel, SCU, which is Kazarian CD, The Natural Nightmares, and Chaos Project. And it still says TBA, so maybe some more AEW Dark teams, or maybe even teams from Impact or AAA could show up too.
Possibly. Are they gonna? Trying to decide this one is tough because are they gonna go with the more dominant teams? Like I'm thinking Pride and Powerful, the Death Triangle, like get Pride and Powerful back into that dominant tag team title picture like they deserve to be in.
They just had a match though, to be fair, and they did lose that match unfortunately.
That's true.
That's the hard part about that.
Or are they gonna go with like a new team like Top Flight, which I could see them kind of going in that direction as well, because their booking is always so back and forth. It's really hard to kind of figure out which way they're gonna go. But I'm just gonna go safe. I'm gonna pick Death Triangle for this match.
Yeah, I'm also in agreement. I've also gone for Death Triangle because like the thing about Top Flight is I think they also had a match with the Bucks when like they were first signed, and it was a very back and forth match, and they kind of felt like a filler team that kind of takes the falls in a lot of matches if you watch like a tag team match on Dynamite. Every other team here that I see, it's mostly either like AEW Dark teams or teams that have recently competed for tag gold. Even Private Party, they had the Impact tag shots, but they're kind of feuding with Hangman and the Dark Order right now. Same with the Dark Order. They've recently been getting involved with Matt Hardy and company, which we'll get to a little bit later on in the video. Butcher and the Blade have had countless matches with like the Elite / the Bucks, I feel like. And unless it's like a surprise team, like someone from Impact, AAA, we're not going to see New Japan, considering the New Japan Cup is happening right now and they're all over in Japan. But I think Death Triangle is very safe. We haven't seen the Lucha Brothers, Phoenix get involved with the Bucks in a while. I think implying the result of this show is them. We'll get to them in a bit. I think it'd be really exciting to have like this fresh team, especially kind of Penta being a singles guy again, which we'll get to later on too. I think it has some really good things. Plus, like Phoenix has been like showing out a lot lately. I think keeping them like relevant in like some kind of like big feud could be great for him. Keep him like raise his stock. And speaking of Private Party and company, we have what's called the Big Money match. It is Big Money Matt Hardy taking on everyone's favorite, Hangman Page. It's been brewing, especially in recent weeks, with Matt Hardy getting involved with the Dark Order and beating up all of Hangman's friends. And here we are now going to cap it all off, and the winner will get the other person's quarter one earnings, whether it be from AEW and any. I think it's also like merch / action figure sales. So, it's a big paycheck, and we don't know how it all came about. I'll go first. This is actually one of the more confident ones. I think Hangman's going to take this. My thinking is that, Hangman's, he's kind of been like on like a little bit of like a slight decline since the loss to Omega, and I think it's kind of like a slow burn, push back to the top of the card. This is a good way to get it. He gets some revenge on Matt for something that's been going on lately. And maybe we would see a nice moment where him and the Dark Order finally come together, and maybe he actually joins them, and it's like kind of like a nice little babyface faction going on. Eric, what do you think?
I'm going to agree with you. I do think this is pretty easy to decide. Hangman Page is definitely going to win this match and get Big Money Matt's money. Just especially how Matt's been being portrayed, and which I think he's been doing great in this character of Big Money Matt. And like, he tried to get Hangman drunk and then tried to get him to sign the contract.
Yeah, and then he switched it out on him.
And getting a fee of 30%, which is actually a lot of money.
That's a lot. For like what they do, that's a lot of money.
But then, Matt turns around, talks to the camera, and then, Hangman just pulls a different contract out.
Yeah,
I thought that was great.
That's because he swindled him the whole time. He was actually sober.
Yeah. And so, but yeah, I think Hangman Page is going to win this match.
It's going to be nice, too. I think it's going to be like a nice little way to start off Hangman's year. Like I said, it's going to be like a slow burn back to the top for him. I'm excited to see what they do. And moving on to the next match, just announced last night as we had the Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament come to an end. It is Ryu Mizunami from the Japanese side of the bracket. We've seen her, I believe, once before her match last night. That was at the first Double or Nothing in that 6-woman tag they did, taking on the champion Hikaru Shida, who's been kind of overseeing this whole thing. And I heard that she actually produced a lot of this tournament, like a lot of the matches she put together, especially on the Japan side. She she's been working behind the scenes on this, it seems like. I'll go first again. I genuinely think that this is kind of like a way to bring Shida back into the fold, because she's been really quiet since like the end of last year, and I think I'm pretty safely going to go for Shida here as well. My honest thoughts on the tournament were that I just was surprised with like the direction they went in towards the end. I do think someone else like Britt Baker, Serena Deeb, or Thunder Rosa could have really used it to like, maybe get some more deep time. I think they could be like someone I could more recognize, get behind, and more believable threat to Shida. Though I think it'll be really fun. We've seen Joshi matches get exposure on pay-per-view, and they actually been really good matches. So I think it'll be great, but I just think Shida's like a really safe pick. Eric, what do you think?
I'm kind of going to disagree with you. I do not think Shida's going to win this match. I think she's had the belt for a long, long time, and it's time to give it up, give it to someone else. And I think that, Okada Jr. here is going to get the victory over Shida, become the new AEW Women's Champion. But I don't think it's be a long reign. I think she's going to be a transitional champion for someone new coming in. I feel like there's going to be a run-in at the end of the match and set up like the next, big star for the AEW Women's division.
Now, will it be like someone from Japan or someone like from the States maybe? Because it really depends. It could be really anybody, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, but I don't know. I just feel like this is the kind of way to bring Shida back into the picture. That's my thinking, because I think had someone from the American side won, whether it had been like, if Nyla won, I think Nyla would have won this match. Or if it was like Baker would have easily won too, considering I think she's like the ideal person to do it. But she seems more of a character at this point, which is really relevant. But we'll see. But moving on, what do we got next? Another big one. This one announced. This is one of the first matches announced for the show, I believe. It is what they're dubbing the Face of the Revolution ladder match. So I think it's more of a traditional ladder match. I like the Casino one they did Double or Nothing last year. Our participants are, we got Cody Rhodes, the inaugural TNT champion. Lance Archer, the man he beat to win the title for the first time. Penta El Cerro Miedo returning to singles action and coming back from injury too. I haven't seen him since the start of the year, I believe. Max Caster of the Acclaimed, and we got Scorpio Sky and a mystery participant. I wonder who it could be. Eric, what are you thinking about this one?
I definitely don't want Cody Rhodes to win.
I don't think he's going to.
He's just lately, he's just really put a sour taste in my mouth, especially with like all the like kind of over the top things he's doing with his baby announcements. I just didn't like that. Like,
oh yeah, that's right. They came out at the entrance. It's like, oh, it's a girl. And it's like a big pyro. I'm like,
it's like, I don't care. I really don't care about like why you taking up time on your wrestling show to do this when nobody else on the show will be able to do that. I mean, he takes up like, I feel like 75% of the pyro budget is for his entrance. And
you said this at the beginning of the promotion too.
Yeah, they started this promote AEW to like get new different product out there, but it's like a vanity project for Cody Rhodes. Like, hey, look, I'm, here I am, and I don't know, I just didn't like it. But from watching Scorpio Sky, especially last night on Dynamite, how confident he was, and it seems like they're putting him in a pretty prominent position moving forward. I'm gonna go with Scorpio Sky for this match.
I see him kind of like the dark horse because no one's really talking about him, and I'm like, he actually has a good chance. It's not really been after that belt since I think the summer and that match they did with Cody, and I think everybody else here. I don't think Caster has a good shot. Because, I still think he's relatively new. I like him, don't get me wrong, but I don't think now's the right time. Lance, I think, is just kind of beyond this belt right now. Considering how he's always been presented. Like, he's the big guy. He can kind of go for, like, kind of after anybody. He fits his whole shtick. I don't think he really needs it. But Penta is another one, too, who's also like, I actually wouldn't be against it. It's really like either like one of those two or the mystery person's what I'm thinking. But, I think... But if they're trying to get the win, though, then it's going to be like, okay, they have all of them challenge for a title. But, Penta being back in singles competition, excited. He's back from injury. I think for now, unless we learn more about the mystery person, if there's a leak or anything, I'm going to go for Penta because I'd like to see him get a singles run. And start off in the TNT title picture. Him versus Darby could be really fun. I don't think we've really ever seen something like that before. Though I won't deny that I think Scorpio Sky could also do some amazing stuff in this match as well. He's someone that we always enjoy watching. He has the high-flying aspect to him. It's going to be very exciting. Lots of different stuff in this match. You got Cody, so the all-arounder. You got Lance Archer being the powerhouse. You got Penta to bring the Lucha Libre-inspired stuff. Got Caster for the character work, and Scorpio Sky to do fun all over the place. And who knows what the mystery person will be? And that might not be the only person we see that's new coming onto the show. We'll talk about that a little bit later, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset if Penta or Lance Archer with this match. I don't think Lance is gonna win. I love Lance Archer. I think he's gonna be extremely dominant in this match and take out everybody. But
as usually is.
But someone just takes him out on the knee or something, and he just rolls out, but he doesn't get the win.
It's kind of like they all double team on him, and they find a way to neutralize him. It's like that kind of thing because they can't deal with him on their own because they have all the weapons. So why not?
yeah, I just don't want Cody to win like at all.
It's fair enough. But he's already been champion twice. So it's like, does he really? So it's kind of like, I think he's just there to, like, probably help construct the match, basically. Next up, in one of the other big matches of the show, it is the AEW World Tag Team title match, as it is the defending champions, the Young Bucks, embroiled in a blood feud in what I'm calling them Y2MJF. That's what I'm dubbing them. And I think here, I kind of want to see Jericho and MJF get the win. I'm going to go for the Bucks here because I just don't think this is the right time for them to lose. I think they kind of need like a big pay-per-view defense to really get their reign going. It's been all right. They've had a couple good matches here and there, but this is like their first real big angle. And I'm also curious to see how Jericho competes with the Young Bucks, like keeping up with their pacing and everything. MJF could definitely do a lot of the work, but I think I'm going to go for the Bucks here. Plus, what happened with Papa Buck, getting beat up by the Inner Circle, and maybe even Sammy Guevara could come back and cost the Inner Circle the match, especially with what happened when we last saw him. Eric, am I stupid, or what do you think?
No, you took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say I think Sammy Guevara is gonna return and cost MJF and Jericho the match, or even like the Bucks dad could get involved in some way. But I do also agree that the Young Bucks here are gonna retain their titles in this match. I mean, I do see Jericho and MJF getting the titles, but I don't think right now, especially with how the storyline's going and just everything that's been happening, I do think the Bucks are going to retain for sure.
Yeah, my other thing is like with the Inner Circle, I think like they're just bound to split up like at like any week now. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, who's going to leave next? Sammy's already gone. Ortiz and Santana don't really seem happy with him anymore. They're always doing other stuff on BT of other people, and I just feel like it's coming up, and Sammy could be the person who just further drives them apart. He costs them the match, maybe causes miscommunication between Jericho and MJF, and if anything, they also had that talk a couple weeks ago between everyone but Jericho and Sammy. So I think MJF might have something going on that might even kick Jericho out of the group eventually, and he takes over, implying that even happens. So it's interesting, but I don't think this is a night where we're going to see the Bucks lose those belts. I think they have a lot more to give. Plus, with like the Good Brothers being around, that tag team battle royal could also determine like what's going to happen next. We'll see. This should be a really interesting match for story reasons and for the ring action. And this is a huge match for a lot of reasons. It's going to be the return of Sting. He's teaming up against Darby, and it's the ongoing feud. It's probably going to be the end of the feud between Darby Allin and Team Taz. As here we are. It is a street fight. It is Team Taz represented by Brian Cage and Ricky Starks taking on the TNT champion Darby Allin and his dad Sting. Eric, you're up first. What do you think?
I think this match is pretty easy to call. It's gonna be Sting and Darby. Like, there's really no question. It's a cinematic match because that's really what Sting could do, and that's kind of like all I want him to do, because I don't want to see an old man get crippled in the ring.
Yes, that would be terrifying.
That makes sense.
It almost happened to Taker a couple times in recent years.
And I just, the way Darby's been on his trajectory up, I think he's definitely not going to take this loss, and somehow Sting and Darby are going to pull out the victory over Team Taz.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm going to see how they shoot it, like how it's going to be like. This could be like very much middle of the show. Bring the crowd back from like something horrible happening, maybe like a heel wins, and you have this match afterwards, bring it all back. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have also gone for the Stingers, as I'm calling them. However, I have predictions from the other team. Tim picked Team Taz, I'm saying right now, so I'm curious to see why he thinks that. But yep, I'm going for pretty much the same reason. It Sting's like big, like proper like match back. I think it'd be nice to see him it's kind of like the greatest hits. There's all those greatest hits. They get the win in a nice way, and then we move on. And it's a good way to end this feud. Oh man. All right, here we are in the main event. Again, this is a exploding barbed wire death match, and this time it is sanctioned. These two first met, it wasn't a sanctioned match at Full Gear. Here we are. It is for the AEW World Championship. It is Kenny Omega, accompanied by Don Callis, taking on Jon Moxley. Oh boy, I am terrified. There's also a special referee in this match, from my understanding. I forget what his name was, but they announced it last night as a special ref. And if you're a host, you haven't watched a lot of Japanese wrestling or deathmatch wrestling, I would be get ready, because there's going to be a lot here. Eric, what do you got?
Ooh, this match is not for the faint of heart. I'm excited to see what they actually do for this match, because with like kind of the backstage promos with Kenny, he's really just smashing a hammer against something, but building whatever they're doing. Moxley's saying they're taking away the ropes and replacing it with barbed wire, but it looks like they're doing like a big cage of like barbed wire. That's just what it looked like to me.
It looks like, or like maybe like to replace like the mats or something like that with something, or like that's for the outside room with like the landmines apparently they're gonna have. So because you can't really go outside because there's landmines, and you have the ropes are gonna be either wrapped in or replaced with barbed wire, and it's gonna be. I'm honestly how they do it, but it could be a cage match. It could be like what Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards did at Hard to Kill, where they had like the wall of barbed wire on one side, and they used that. But there's been Omega has the thing called it's called like the Moxley Killer. That's what him and everyone was working when Alex Marvez like found him again, because that's what Marvez likes to do these days. But yeah, back to you. Who do you have in mind?
Who do I have in mind? It's gonna be a hell of a match, but I do think Kenny Omega is gonna retain the AEW World Championship in this match. I think Omega is just he chose this match and to prove that he is actually like the best wrestler in the world, no matter what style he's wrestling. We know he's the best at the strong style in New Japan. We know he's amazing in just regular high flying. He can do technical wrestling. So I think he's trying to prove that he can also excel at, this hardcore deathmatch style that Moxley is famous for and is more used to. And so I think that's why he chose this stipulation. And I just don't see Kenny losing the belt right now.
Yeah, I have also gone for Kenny Omega. I also think it's too soon. Like, this is his first pay-per-view defense with the title. He won it in that huge way back at Winter is Coming. This is like kind of like the blow-off. And the way that Moxley was talking in a promo, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I feel like this could be the last time we see Moxley on AEW television for a good while.
For a while, yeah. Well, I mean, Renee's pregnant, and he could be doing... I think he could be doing more stuff on New Japan Strong, which would make more sense because, he lives in Vegas and, LA Dojo is right kind of closer. So.
Yeah, plus he's still the U.S. champion, too, so I think he has more stuff to do over there. So, I think he'll be gone for probably about a couple of weeks at the very least. Then we'll see him pop up on New Japan Strong for a while. And either maybe he'll come back with the title and something else happens on Dynamite, or he'll drop the title and then he'll come back he'll work in the States for Dynamite for a good while until it's 100% safe to travel back and forth between Japan reliably. So yeah, it's gonna be. I am scared someone's gonna die. I've been saying since the start that Moxley is going to die in this match, and I still stand by that. But we might see the Good Brothers get involved. Don Callis might do something trickery. Marvez might ask what the hell's going on after the match show, because that's what Marvez likes to do now. But pretty confidently, I think this is only the beginning for Omega's huge reign. He's also got more stuff to do in the States of Impact, AAA defenses with the Omega Championship, and a lot more. And before we go, we did say we had a bonus prediction. Eric, we heard last night that Paul White has a Hall of Fame worthy signing coming to AEW on Sunday. Do you have any clue of who it might be? This is a bonus prediction, so if you get it right, you get one extra point.
I do, but I also want to point out when on Paul White's entrance music, did you see that it said "No more BS"?
No more BS, yeah, no more Big Show. But
I thought that was excellent.
Yeah.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
So this prediction. He said it was a Hall of Fame caliber guy.
Yes.
He, championships and he won a whole bunch of championships, world, famous wrestler. I think everybody knows. I think this is going to be he's going to be, I guess, Mr. Wednesday Night, Rob
Mr.
Van
Wednesday
Dam.
Night.
Rob Van Dam is going to be the surprise big signing that they get.
All right. Now, do you think it would be involved with the ladder match, or would this be like a separate segment?
It would make sense in the ladder match. Maybe they coincide
because it's Rob Van Dam too.
Yeah, and maybe what happens is for the Revolution ladder match, they have everyone come out. They're waiting for the last person, and then Paul White comes out, and then he announces it.
Yeah, that would make perfect sense too, because that they've done that. We saw it last year of Cage coming out in the casino ladder match at Double or Nothing. That was a great debut, and he won the match too. And if RVD comes back, he won't have to win. Like I said, we pick different people that weren't the mystery person in our booking. But we'll probably, if we find out more in the coming days, we might have to maybe readjust that. But for me, yeah, because you also got to think about people who aren't in Hall of Fame class, and RVD is one of them. I was thinking, it's Kurt Angle, but he's in the Hall of Fame. Is it like Sam was saying Undertaker? I'm like, there's no fucking way it's going to be Undertaker.
There's no way. No.
Yeah.
No.
Sam has lost his mind. Yeah, Sam lost his mind with that one. But I'm also like, it's going to be Shaq all the time. No, I'm just kidding. As much as I love seeing Shaq do that shit last night, but it's not going to happen. But RVD makes a lot of sense. I'm trying to think who else it could possibly be. Unless Big Show's hyping up this new guy. But I doubt he means in that way, because it could be somebody else. And especially it's two different things. The ladder match is it's Speedball Mike Bailey instead of Paul White's announcement. And it's Paul White comes out later and they does it. But and Tony Khan did say that there'd be old and new faces coming to AEW to really help the product some more. So I think I'm trying to think who else it could be. I think for mine, I will say probably... No, I can't say Angle because he's Hall of Fame. No, can't be him either. Not Christian. I think Christian's doing part-time WWE.
Oh, yeah.
I think unless he didn't sign, which would be... Whew. Not Carlito wouldn't be a bad one. I think because he didn't get signed either. I don't think...
I think he's doing production.
I think he's doing... Yeah, productions, or he's doing indies at the very least right now. I think for right now, I think I'll also say RVD, but you never know. I might change that pick. I'll make I'll make it into the doc, but I think RVD is kind of a safe one, but like something comes up in the coming days. Or I think I might have to think about it a little bit more. On Sam's end, Sam has taken it back and he said it's going to be Lesnar, and no, that would be also huge, but there's no way they'd have to make that work. Even though it'd be interesting, I just don't think it's going to happen. And we'll see what Tim and the others say, but that will cap off our AEW Revolution predictions. What are your predictions for the show? Leave them in the comments below. I'm happy to hear out what you think will happen at the show. And if you like this video, feel free to hit subscribe, enable notifications if you really want, and stay tuned for more. SSS Podcast is coming this weekend. Also follow the Facebook page and other social media for more updates. And also check out our New Japan Cup bracketology, where we were wrong as Naito today. Got his knee destroyed by Great Khan, and we are all stupid. Anyway, guys, thank you again for watching. Enjoy Revolution, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Thanks, everybody, and take care.